So I've had a lot to say, but I haven't jumped on here because the downloads have been coming in like crazy and I just don't even know where to start. So something that keeps kind of poking around in my mind, and I've mentioned it several times, but here is just another one. There's a lot of division right now. And there's two very different narratives going around and around and around, and it's making us fight one another, which is just one more thing. I don't understand how people don't realize that fighting about it is not going to solve the problem. It is exactly what they want us to do. But I think there's this forgetfulness about looking at a counter narrative. Because when we start hearing things that are off the beaten trail or seem really freaking ridiculous for what we're being told, we oftentimes are like, why would anyone do that? You know, what would possess someone to lie, cheat, steal, coerce, all those kinds of things? So we just dismiss these alternate viewpoints. And then we get angry that anyone would ever insinuate that we wouldn't have thought of that, or that we are being duped, and then we fight. And fighting is not going to help anybody ever. So I've come to remind you all one more time about the two kinds of people that exist on this planet, because I think sometimes it's difficult for people to look at an alternate viewpoint or see things in a different light, for better or for worse, because we can't understand the why. Why the fuck would someone lie about that? Why would this be this confusing? Why would it be covered in shadow? Why? And I used to, back in the day, get sucked into conspiracy theories and just be like, this is fucking bogus, because why would anyone do that? Why? And some of them are still bogus, but why is the issue. We can't link the why. So there are two kinds of people by design, and the reason that two kinds of people exist is because the Earth's experience is that of duality. There has to be light in order to understand the dark. There has to be dark in order to understand the light. We have to be hot in order to understand what it means to be cold. We have to have money to know what it means to be poor. We have to have the alternates to understand and appreciate what we have. And we see this all the time with like spoiled people who were born rich, right? They get everything given to them and then they freaking destroy it. I think about high school. Mommy and daddy would buy you a nice car and they would bag the shit out of it because it meant literally nothing to them, because they never felt what it was like to not have that privilege. So that is why we exist in a world of duality. And when it comes down to it, nothing is good or bad. Everything just is what it is. But because we communicate through verbal language, we do have to use some sort of language to define something. So for all intents and purposes, I'm going to say positive and negative, but it's just a word, okay? Everything just is what it is. So on one hand of creation, or one hand of the universe, we have positively oriented souls. And by design, they have a cord that plugs into the bottom of their sternum. Obviously it's energetic, you can't see it, and it clicks into the universe or to divine source or to whatever. And those positively oriented souls are able to pull energy, which is the most important resource, from the universe around them. So when we are thinking of those people, they have what they need to get up every day and feed their own energy. And that's probably most of you, and myself included. We just are able to get up and get going and move through the world and pull from those energy resources because we have that connection. And if you want to compare us to something, we are the gazelles. We are the little bunny rabbits. We can live off of the planet. We just need some lush grass, a little bit of sunshine, and some rain here or there, and we can thrive. We don't really need anything else. And then, remember, by design, those people are positive, because I'm going to circle back to the design. Then on the other hand, there is a secondary design, and those people were not gifted with the cord connecting to the universe, which means they do not receive energy naturally from the universe around them, which they still need it. Everybody needs energy to survive, okay? So where do they get it from? The positive people, because we have that access. And how do we exchange energy? It's through our interactions, it's through our that especially through our feelings, our emotions, our reactions, our thoughts. These are always the energetics. Money is a huge energetic exchange. Things like money is probably the main one. So this group needs to leech it off of other people. And they can be compared to a lion or a hyena. Hyenas and lions cannot just eat grass and bask in the sun and get a little rain and expect to survive. They need to eat meat. They need to eat the gazelle to survive, or they'll just deteriorate and turn into nothing. So that means 50% of the population are gazelles and the other 50% are fucking hyenas. That's a lot of people. That means you know a hyena. And this is how you will know you are interacting with a hyena versus a gazelle. Hyenas are the narcissists, the sociopaths, the manipulators, and the people who usually look very charming, charismatic, successful on the surface, but underneath it all, they're often very nasty. And this is where the design part comes in, okay? Because it's difficult to tell the difference. These people look beautiful, charming, charismatic, they're good with their words. And then over here we have positive people, which are just like minding their business, right? Like, who doesn't want to be a lion? They're beautiful, right? But I don't want to eat gazelles. That sounds terrible. So by design, to activate your abundance, your manifestation, we have to live in alignment with our design. So positively oriented souls will find success and abundance when they are being positive, kind, compassionate, spreading truth, light, love, and don't forget the truth. But they don't do it. They're helping others. They're community-based, but not at the expense of themselves. Self-sacrifice will get nobody anywhere. But they will just do what they're doing, follow their passions, things will work out for them. Yes, there are tons of positively oriented souls who perform negatively, because after all, our world is very negative. So sometimes positively oriented souls will try to do negative things like lie, cheat, steal, manipulate, but it will not work out for them. They will be exhausted. They will not have money. They'll probably be sick, miserable, all those things. I know tons of positively oriented souls who are very cynical, pessimistic, but fuck, nothing in their life is working out for them because they're doing it wrong. That's how you know, okay? But then, how to recognize a negative soul, which is most important, because these are the people you want to stay away from or they will eat you. You're the gazelle. You don't want to come across one of these lions. They will eat you alive. You will recognize them because once you really see their true colors, you will see that they are manipulative, they're liars, they're cheaters, they're stealers, and they will roll over on the underdog and they don't give a fuck about anybody. But the catch is, they were designed to perform negatively to show us the duality. So it will never catch up with them. They will have money, they'll have power, they'll have prestige, admiration. They'll have everything they wanted and more and almost never get busted for it. That is how you tell the difference. So if 50% of the population is over here in negative land, these people feast off of money that they didn't have to work for. They're going to pull it off of you and I. Power, control, fear is one of the most powerful emotions that we are able to produce. So they love feasting off of our fear. They're the people at the dinner table who are just the narcissistic guy who's always poking at you and laughing at you and belittling you, and they are the shittiest person in the world, and they have money and success and everything comes easy to them. Okay? They suck. So every time they can elicit fear out of you, they're getting the energy they need. Every time they can live off of your money, they're getting the energy they need. Anytime they can take your power away, they're living off the energy that they need. So if 50% of our population is negatively oriented, what kind of jobs do you think they're attracted to? Where do you think they are in our society? Just think about it. Literally, critical think for one moment. Where do you think they are? Positions of power and control. Our government, not every one of them, but I'm guessing all the big top dogs are politicians, like corporations. Sometimes you can find them pocketed in like corrupt, policing, military, high-powered military. That is what they're drawn to. They are never, ever, ever, ever going to be drawn to a life of service. Not a fucking chance. So when you're hearing these counter narratives and you're like, well, why would anyone want to do that? It's not about what is this or what is that or what's going to happen. Ask yourself, who is benefiting off of these narratives or these designs? Is somebody making money off of this? Is somebody eliciting control? Is somebody eliciting fear? Because if that's what's happening, it is a negative soul, and they will never have your best interest at heart, ever. If anything, they will be way more shady and playing straight fuckery than you ever could have imagined. So, you don't have to believe me, but if you just toy with that idea, can you see beyond the veil of what's being told to you? Could you see how it's possible? You don't have to agree, but that's what it's shaking out, and it's just to be mindful. Just toy with the idea and see if things make sense to you, or that you can see things in a different light. And we all know one of these hyenas. I'm freaking telling you. And think about those hyenas in your life. Would it be beyond them if they had that much power, that much control, that much energy? And the world was beginning to awaken to their gifts and realizing they don't need to give away their power anymore because all they need was always within. Do you think they might be scared? Do you think the negative souls might be a little nervous that the cushy ride that they've had off of the society that was previously structured is now in jeopardy? Because people are more spiritual. It is a mass awakening, a mass activation, and there's no way you can deny that you haven't noticed that awakening is happening. And when we awaken, we come back to our power and, like I said, realize everything we ever needed was from within. And we fall out of lying. We fall out of what's expected us to be because we realize we can manifest. We can share our gifts with this world. We can become self-employed. I know so many people who are self-employed now. And that was not the case in my life that long ago, and it's working out for us. They are fucking scared. Do you think, remember, thinking of the narcissist you know in your life, if they had the tools, the know-how, the vision, would you put it past them to run a mass scheme to get everyone to continue to fill the fear tank, feel the money machine, fill all of these things and try to silence anyone who said you don't have to participate in that or was looking at it? It's not that fucking crazy. It really isn't that crazy if you think about it. There are people that just don't have empathy. There are people that just don't care. And if you think they're just 1 in 100, you are completely incorrect. They are 50% at least out of the 100. And they are manipulative as fuck. And you never see it coming until it's too late. And I'm not even saying this, we can apply this to our current world situations, but more importantly, on a regular day-to-day basis, apply to everyone that you spend time with or you are around. Just be aware and just, I don't know, think beyond it. Think for yourself. I don't even care if you believe me or not, but maybe this will probe a little bit for you to look deeper or ask that question yourself or see the patterns in your life, because the lions will take our energy and they will leave us running dry and ragged. We'll be anxious, we'll be tired, we'll feel sick. Right? How have you felt over the past 2 years? Has your anxiety really amped up? Have you been a little bit more fearful, a little bit more tired than usual? Has your body hurt more? Are you having more difficulty sleeping? And then ask yourself, if you say yes to any of those things, have you given more attention to the fear machine than you should have? Because it's going, even your thoughts are a feed to these machines. So we're getting bombarded with everything that's fearful in the media, all around us all the time. And ask yourself, who has something to gain? Because there's a lot of positive souls right now trying to speak out on things, and they actually have everything to lose. Everything to lose by speaking a narrative that is so not accepted right now. They lose clients, they lose business, they lose respect. They're genuinely trying to the best of their ability to do what they came here to do, which was either hold the light, spread the truth, operate from a frequency of love where they don't want to participate in the arguing, the fighting, or the bullying. And they have everything to lose because of it. And they might lose something, but eventually it should come back because they're still honoring their light, honoring their design. So who has something to gain by what you're hearing, and who has something to lose by what you're hearing? In university, I was taught, follow the money of who funded a study. Who said what? Who's benefiting? Because the people that are trying to get your attention probably have everything to lose and almost nothing to gain. Just try to see it from a bigger lens. I don't care what your verdict is, but Earth is a place of school. It's Earth school. Do your research, study. Don't be lazy. We're not going to get out of Earth school and karma school alive if we don't do our homework. And again, it doesn't really matter what the verdict is, as long as you've put some effort into it. Anyway, I digress. I hope you have a great day, and I've got a lot of downloads to share, so stay tuned. And also feel free to join me on Patreon, because I'm going to be sharing a more full, broader picture on there, just because I know the people there want to hear that, you know what I mean? I don't want to bombard my feed. So check that out if you want a little more information. I will be sharing much more of my downloads there now that they finally have synchronized. But anyway, have a great day.